And my daughter specifically stated that the teacher put up a wheel on the classboard and it stated anal penetration, oral sex, licking of ear, kissing, and he wanted them to write down the initials of a boy or girl that they would do these activities with. Now, I don't know what's worse, wanting to know my child's sexual fantasy or who they're going to have anal penetration and oral sex with. What is he gaining from this? What do you gain from this information?
When I'm with my friends or other non-binary people.
Non-binary?
People who aren't female or male. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have assumed.
I always knew my pronouns felt right.
Okay, this is the child section. This is literally the kids section. I'm next to a literal onesie that says whatever the hell that means. We have glad you came out, and I'm so happy that you're queer. In the kids section. Are you kidding me? So I found an extra small swimsuit in the child section. It says light binding effect on it. And then the bottoms in the kids section, keep in mind, say tuck friendly construction. They're giving it to your kid.
These people in power alongside the evil elites know where all this is leading. It's sick and morally wrong. This is getting outrageous that grown men and women are acting like children at a playground, in a line, one by one, having no say in the world because they're all irrelevant pieces of shit. But if you're like me, there's a chance. You see the truth because your eyes are open. You've conquered your mind and no longer a slave to the system that once controlled you. In a world of space monkeys, there are only a few Tylododons left to balance the minds of the Jacks. Hi, I'm Walker. Welcome to Walker Wisdom, the home and main channel of the Walker Wisdom Show. Revoke the woke. What is woke? Well, the woke agenda is very popular now. Usually people like to depict it as a political view or whatever, but woke is bending reality to something you wish it was instead of what it is, and an overwhelming lack of gratitude for what we've accomplished. This isn't a political issue or an identity issue anymore. This is now becoming dangerous. Much like my last video, I was on Twitter yesterday, and I found a video that had me shook. It was a video of this wise, religious African-American man who was reading out loud a book to a school board of education that was already accessible on school shelves around the country, available to kids as young as 5 years old.
Book here. It's called It's Perfectly Normal. I'll read some of this for you. It says, after a bit, a person's becomes moist and slippery, and the clitoris becomes hard. After a bit, a person's becomes erect, stiff, and larger. Sometimes a bit of clear fluid that may contain a few sperm comes out of the tip of the penis and makes it wet.
Can we, sir, I'm sorry.
Was it something I said? If you don't want to hear it in a school board meeting, why should children be able to check it out of the school system? We have perverts that are perverting our kids. And you all sit back smug in your chairs, but you don't want me to read it. Why? Does it bother you? Yes or no? You can't answer that question. You want to know why? Because politically speaking, you can't say that it's wrong. And you don't want me to read the filth because it exposes the truth. How dare you tell me to stop reading it? If you don't want to hear it, why should The children have to see it.
Pastor, your time is up. Thank you.
That makes two of us.
This book not only describes sexual intercourse between other men, but illustrated it as well. Keep in mind that this book is available to our elementary through middle school students. And just in case you aren't worried, if we don't stop this sexualization of our kids now, then this will bleed into your household when you decide to have a kid. Like Balenciaga and these other world-renowned companies, Satan shows himself as he slowly makes pedophilia okay to the public. If you don't defend our future generations of men and women, then no one will. And if you stand there and do nothing, you are just as bad as these pedophiles and woke agenda bullshit. Many people are going to say, but Walker this, but Walker that. Let me make this clear. I don't mind if you're gay. I don't mind if you pretend to be an animal. Bruh. What I mind is when they push this shit onto other people, and if you disagree, now you're labeled as canceled. That isn't even the worst part. The part I am more concerned about is when you make a law that allows my stupid, non-consensual 12-year-old male child to make the destructive decision to cut off their penis because they're not smart enough to know the long-term effects due to their current feelings and imagination. These people in power, alongside the evil elites, know where all this is leading. It's sick and morally wrong. Now, deep diving even further down the rabbit hole, we get into the woke agenda message being pushed out into the public and our future generations. From the music industry all the way to the dweebs at Hollywood, this satanic bullshit is creeping in like an ambush. I'll most likely make a video specifically on the music industry, but it's sick that kids now find it okay to listen and watch destructive music that represents a gay man humping the devil. What kind of bullshit is that? And I can't remember, but I was watching a movie that felt like I was being pushed every damn minute to watch something depicting the same-sex relationships. I'm trying to think what movie it was. Oh yeah, that's right. All of them. Now, many movies depicting this stuff can still be good movies, regardless of how many people label as woke. Little Mermaid, for example, is a movie that many classify as woke. Well, I'm gonna be flat out honest with you guys. Black, white, Asian, green, blue, red, yellow. She's a fictional mermaid with no major franchise in a fictional world with fictional scenarios. I don't give a fishy mermaid's rat's ass what color her skin is. Quite frankly, that don't bother me nor concern me, because to me, that isn't woke. Woke is if they had the Little Mermaid walk on land and start talking about racism and slavery as a black woman. Because now we're going against the story of the character to push a message on to their viewers. Now this is no longer the Little Mermaid. That's the little black oppressed mermaid. Okay? And speaking of women, now we have feminists, who at first I thought was a pretty cool movement. Go woman, cool. But like BLM, the movement is slowly destroying its own original message. The people who support both get nothing in return except more problems leading down the same path. Me and my father's generation had Wonder Woman. This generation has to wonder if it's a woman. Bruh. With this new woke agenda now making it even harder to identify what a woman even is, the women still find a way to put themselves down while saying they're bringing themselves up. Like seriously, how as a woman, let alone a feminist, can you see that allowing men to become women and inevitably take over their once grateful female-oriented sports is only providing themselves wrong? Literally proving themselves wrong. Yeah, go ahead and clap for the trans woman who won the championship or whatever sport it may be. But deep down, you know that you are only allowing men to take over even more. That's not it either. Many women complain about the gap between men and women on the topic of payment for jobs, when they forget about the variables that guide the views they take. You can't fight the gender gap between men and women with job payment when you yourself can admit that the majority of male population also is likely to choose a much dangerous job than that of a woman. That by doing said job gives up for the opportunity for death to knock on their door with scythe and hand. With that said, there are a majority of jobs that vice versa allow women to be more financially successful than men. Bartenders, waiters, clothes designers, nurses, family care services, all good examples of jobs that allow women on an edge of men. But you don't see us complaining. This woke agenda is all leading us to chaos, and it's dangerous. It's slowly ripping us apart via gender, race, and ideas, alongside the real-life events of Terminator with AI getting bigger and bigger. All this is leading to our own collapse and demise. It's getting crazy. I get comments and messages and people coming up to me asking what my pronouns are. You want my pronouns? Here they are. Shut the and fuck up. This is getting outrageous that grown men and women are acting like children at a playground, in a line, one by one, having no say in the world because they're all irrelevant pieces of shit. But if you're like me, there's a chance. You see the truth because your eyes are open. You've conquered your mind and no longer a slave to the system that once controlled you. In a world of space monkeys, there are only a few Tyler Durdens left to balance the minds of the jacks. Now, I'm going to add my own vocabulary in there, but Ben Shapiro said it best. You can be fat, evil, stupid, and lazy as you want to be. But it's everybody else's job pretend that you are actually wise, good, beautiful, and skinny. Slowly but surely, no matter how crazy, fat, stupid, and lazy you are, we're all told that we're perfect as we are, when in reality, none of us are perfect in any way, shape, or form, from a religious standpoint to a biological standpoint. And sometimes we have to look at the harsh truth. It's not okay to walk around half naked on all fours with the dog leash on inside of a multi-million-dollar company such as Walmart with pronouns that sound like an alien mating. That's not normal, and you need mental health guidance from a good, stable mentor or guardian. Enough said.